If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please subscribe now. Click the bell icon next to it and select All to ensure you don't miss any of my latest videos. Every day, scientists, archaeologists, and other people are digging in many places on Earth and unearthing many new things. But they all think the same thing in their minds. Oh, it would be great if someone found a hidden treasure in this area, not just this one thing. Because some of these treasures can completely settle their lives. That is, even if the government takes away the entire amount and gives 10%, their lives will be settled. There are many such treasures in this world. Today in this video, let's talk about some such treasures. How valuable are those treasures? If we can earn all these treasures, we will become a richer person than Elon Musk. Elon Musk is the richest person on this earth. We will surpass that person and become the richest person. It is so valuable. The treasures are hidden in many places around the world, so let's learn about some of them in this video. So why not let's get into the video number 1, the treasure of the Knights Templar. The Knights Templar completely collapsed in the year 1187 and fell into the hands of the Muslims. So at that time, the Knights Templar kingdom lost its main purpose, which is basically to maintain the religious order, but they did not have the situation to maintain it. So they wanted to protect both their wealth and political power. So in the year 1302, the then King Philip IV of France asked the Knights Templar to be as they liked, which means that asking for it in terms of religion does not mean making a normal request, but a little forceful, and after that, the Pope Clement V also confirmed, and when the Knights Templar agreed to it, on Friday, October 13, 1307, the Knights Templar were arrested and tortured and then killed. That is why many people in the Western countries consider the 13th to be a very, very unlucky day if it falls on a Friday. The reason for this is this incident. Even though the Knights Templar was killed, many knights survived. They all went underground. They took many treasures of the Knights Templar and many religious relics with them. According to some stories, they escaped from there to Scotland. They took all the gold treasures they had, and some of the knights' favored people in the area helped them hide all those treasures. They hid them in the basement of a castle. They decided that when the New World was discovered, they would bring out all these treasures. Then the knights went to Nova Scotia. This Nova Scotia is in Canada. At that time they also created some maps. We can still see some marks on those old maps. They also mentioned many things related to this event on the gravestones. So when we looked at all of them, okay, this event really happened. This is not a fictional story. It has been proven that it is not a lie. However, there is a theory about this, which is that the Knights Templar hid all their treasure in a big pit. That pit is in Oak Island, which is in Canada, and it is also called the Money Pit. It was discovered in 1795 by a person named Daniel McGuinness, and from then on he started digging it. Along with him, his friends also dug it for many years. As they were digging, every 10 feet, some planks of wood began to appear, and after digging and digging and digging, they went down to 90 feet, and they found some stone inscriptions and there were some symbols on them. If you decode all of them, it is written that there is a treasure of 2 million pounds at a depth of 40 feet. Since then they have started digging more and more. But as they were digging, water started to come in and floods started to occur. So no matter how much water was pumped, the water kept coming in. So no one knows exactly what is there. So the treasure of the Knights Templar still remains a mystery. But still, many people believe that it is not the treasure of the Knights Templar. It could be the treasure of Maria Antonia, or it could be the treasure of the pirates, it could be the Ark of the Covenant. In fact, their treasure is still the largest is the Knights Templar treasure, which is believed by many to be worth around $200 billion if we compare it to today's currency. But no one knows where it is. Number 2, Forrest Fence treasure. A person named Forrest worked hard for many years in his life to find $1 million worth of treasure. If you want, you can grab it and take all that money. He is currently 93 years old and he is a millionaire treasure hunter and art dealer. He used to live in a place called Santa Fe, Mexico. In fact, he is not from Mexico. Basically, he used to live in a different place before that. But then he was diagnosed with kidney cancer in 1988. So since then, thinking that he would not live, he hid all his money in a treasure chest and started giving some hints about it. He hid his treasure in the San Cristobal Mountains. No one knows exactly where he hid it and no one knows how he became a millionaire. That is, no one knows how he got to the stage of giving $1 million to other people and keeping some amount for himself. The FBI also investigated him for many years, but they are not getting any clarity. Basically, he does not have such a great reputation in the archaeological world. In fact, some people call him a looter or a grave robber. Basically, now many Egyptian pharaohs are buried near the pyramids of Egypt and mummified, so they keep a huge amount of gold, diamonds, and jewelry related to them along with them. Many people steal them. So they believe that he is a thief, and in the year 2010 he published a book called The Thrill of the Chase, in which he writes he mentioned hints, but there is also a poem in it, which also has some meanings, which also tells where the treasure is. So, at the moment, his treasure is worth about $4 million, which means that even though he hid it, its value has increased. There are many historical artifacts in it, and they are also very ancient, that is, they are from the year 1150, and there is also pre-Columbian gold, there are Chinese jade carvings, and there is also a Spanish ring from the 17th century which has emeralds, rubies, diamonds, all of these. His goal is to leave a legacy of his own to the world, and people should go in search of his treasure and enjoy it outdoors. He has said this many times, but many people say that his treasure is not real, that all this is just a gimmick that he is doing to increase sales of his book, and that there is nothing more to it. They believe that, but he donated 50% of the profits from those books to the cancer hospital, so when he donated 50%, it's not like he was doing all this for money, and he should know where he hid it and how he hid it. Hundreds of people called him and asked him to give them more clues, but he didn't give anyone any extra clues. I told him to decode it according to what I gave in that book or else die. He said that's the situation. If you are interested, go and try to get the treasure. Number 3, the treasure of San Miguel. At that time the War of Succession happened. At that time the Spanish people had completely run out of funds. So in 1712, the Spanish people started collecting all their treasures in one place. They wanted to use them again for the kingdom. So at that time a large amount of gold, diamonds, emeralds, etc. were in the ships. They left everything behind and set sail. At that time, the value of those ships was about $5 billion, which is about $100 billion in today's currency. Because it was in 1715, 11 ships left Cuba for Spain. They actually left before the hurricane season. They thought that there would be no pirates at that time, so they thought they would be safe. But their decision was a very wrong decision. A very big hurricane hit. So, a week after they started their journey, all their ships sank near Vero Beach, near Florida. About 1,000 sailors died at that time. And the Spanish people worked hard for many years and were able to bring back half of the treasure, that is, they were able to recover it. But the problem here is that it was very difficult to get it back. While they were taking it, some pirates caught some more. It was a different matter from them. So, out of a total of 11 ships, they were able to take out the treasure from only 7 of them. And even that was not completely taken out because the treasure from some of the ships was scattered and went to different parts of the sea. So, the full treasure was not found from each ship. So, there is still a very large treasure hidden in the sea. So, 300 years have passed since that treasure reached the bottom of the sea. So, even now, that treasure is waiting for us there. In 2015, a person named Eric Smith, a treasure hunter, went into the sea and searched very hard and searched and finally brought out $1 million worth of gold and silver. And at that time he also took out one of the Spanish ships, the Capitana ship. So, he was somewhat the treasure was taken out, but it is still a very large treasure, but it is still pending there. So if any one of us is interested, we can go and try to get that treasure. Of course, the government will take a 20% share, but the rest is up to us. So many divers are still searching for that treasure in that area. Number 4. Nazi gold in Lake Toplitz, Austria. When Nazi Germany was on the verge of defeat during World War II, all the Nazi leaders decided to hide the billions of dollars worth of Nazi treasure somewhere. They may have collected that treasure, may have stolen it, but they thought they should protect it. There are also some cultural treasures, so they thought they should be kept very safe. They were already worth about $37 billion, and it is still missing, and the hunt for it is still going on. Basically, the rumors that came out at that time were that the Nazis had sunk some metal containers full of gold and diamonds, and they had sunk them in the lake tops, and that they had sunk about $56 billion worth of Reich Bank gold in that lake alone. They are saying that if we wanted to take it out, we could take it all out of that water. In fact, no one knows the exact location of it, and we don't know anything about what was in those containers. But what many people believe is that the Germans worked very hard and went all over Europe to steal it and get it. They stole it from all over Europe with their angry gaze. But some people believe that there are also a very large number of documents there. All the documents are basically documents related to the places that were looted from Jewish victims, and the accounts related to them are also in many Swiss banks, and many people believe that the information related to them is also in that box. In 1959, a diving team found about 72 million pounds of work-forged sterling currency in the box, and along with them, a printing press machine was also found. Basically, all this was Hitler's plan. So he planned to destroy the Allied economy at that time, but it turned out to be a biscuit. In 1983, a German biologist also accidentally found some forged British pounds, as well as some rockets and missiles belonging to Najera. All of these were also found in that lake. So many people believe that this treasure could also be in that lake, but no one knows exactly. Many people tried to go inside for the treasure, but many died while going for the treasure. So what the Austrian government did was to completely ban diving altogether. So they managed to hide the treasure from the public's eyes, but they couldn't hide it from their minds. Some people believe that the treasure also contains the legendary amber room panels, which are not from the 18th century, but diamonds and gold. All of these are said to be worth billions of dollars. And the mystery of this lake's top lead treasure came to light in 2014. The nephew of a senior Nazi officer came to the media and said that it is true that the treasure was sunk there. My uncle once told me about it clearly. He also mentioned it very clearly. But still, diving for Nazi gold is very risky because there is a huge amount of food there. There are branches, so visibility is reduced and the chances of drowning in our water are increased, and many people have died, which is why they banned it. Number 5. El Dorado and Lake Water Vita. During the 16th and 17th centuries, large amounts of gold were found in many parts of the world. So at that time, what did the Europeans believe? In what is now Colombia, there was a mysterious city called El Dorado. When the Spanish explorers reached South America in the 16th century, they all heard some stories. There was a tribe called the Muska. The leader of that tribe used to cover his entire body with gold dust, and he would go to Lake Guatavita and offer a large amount of gold to that area every year. That is, if you offer gold to that lake, it will go directly to the gods. So they believed that the gods would do good to them. So for that reason they would go directly to it. The people who invested money kept pouring in and they filled the entire lake with gold. At the same time, they also heard about El Dorado. So what they thought was that this El Dorado was the lake because El Dorado means the golden one in Spanish. So they started focusing more on that lake, and then after hearing about the leaders there, El Lamber Dorado and El Rey Dorado, they decided that there was definitely gold in that lake and they had to dig it out. They went to that area in 1536. They started digging in that area in 1545 and they drained most of the water in that lake and they brought out a few hundred golden pieces. So automatically their confidence grew. They made multiple attempts to drain the lake, and when they did that, a few hundred people, the workers, died. But the most recent and successful expression was that in 1911 the lake was completely drained. But the problem is that there is a thick, hard and muddy layer there, and the treasures are clearly visible, but there is no way to take them out, and after a few days the lake was completely filled with water. So, how to take all the treasures out of that lake is still being thought about. But the doubt that many people have is whether this lake is El Dorado or whether it is a separate lost city of wealth called El Dora. Many people do have a doubt, but even today the lake is a huge gold mine. So, people from the surrounding areas occasionally come to that area and visit that lake and talk about how much gold there is in the house. But taking it out is not that easy. No, but one thing is for sure, there are huge amounts of gold and lost treasures in Central and South America. So many such treasures are waiting for us even now. But we are not able to dig them up and take them out. And number 6, the Last Dutchman Mine, is one of the best treasure tales we have heard in history. It is very, very popular in West America. There is a big mystery related to this Last Dutchman Mine. Is this mine real? Is this mine really there? Who worked in this mine? Can we see it now? There are many such questions. There is a huge amount of gold in it. But the problem is that many people believe that this mine is cursed. The Spanish people came to this area in the year 1540. At that time, many people believed that this particular Lost Dutchman mine was in some mountains in Arizona. And when they went to find that mine, the Apache Indians who were guarding the mine stopped them and said, "Hey, if you go, a curse will come upon you. You will bleed to death. Be careful not to go." But the Spanish people did not listen. Despite the warnings, they went to explore the mine without stopping. And they were cursed. A few days after they went to explore the mine, their dog died. It was not an ordinary death. So each one of them died in their own way. Each one of them vomited blood. Each one drowned in the water. Each one fell from a high place and died. Many things happen like this. So that situation made us believe even more that the area was cursed. After that, some more expeditions were conducted and they did not stop. Some gold mines were found. But not on such a large scale. That is, not on such a large scale as we have heard about for the Lost Dutchman mine. And the Apache Indians also attacked them continuously. The people who were doing it were supposed to protect the mine, and then they gave the land to the Mexican cotton barons. Then they found a mine in that area that had some gold and silver. They worked in that mine for many years. Then the descendants of those family members also worked in that mine until 1840. But then they were both killed by the Apaches. It is not known how they died. But it is clear that they were the ones who killed them. Then a German immigrant named Jack of the Dutchman Walsh said that he had rediscovered this mine in 1870. Basically, he saved one of the original descendants without killing him, and he got all that information from him. and he said that there was enough gold there to feed the whole world. It was such a big mine. No one in history had ever seen such big gold. But he kept saying that he came. Many people tried to follow him, but each time he cheated them all and went to the mine to get some gold, but he never told anyone the location of the mine. But in 1981, Walls got pneumonia and was almost dying. So what he did was he told his friend, his wife Julia Elena Thomas, the location of the mine, and both of them died. After that, they all tried to find the mine, but they didn't understand the exact location he told them, so they forgot the directions and went somewhere, and no matter how hard they tried, they couldn't find the mine. So even now, the last Dutchman mine remains a mysterious, unexplored mine. If you are interested, you can go and try it. So that's it. Guys, these are the 6 lost treasures, and if we get these 3 things, I really say that we can become richer than Elon Musk. We have no doubt about that. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon to be notified of future uploads. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.